loved singing, playing with dolls, and dancing. She was
I'm about to another video watching husband and hating paying child support, so he threw his daughter off a cliff. Let's get into it.
the typical 4-year-old girly girl.
I'd always liked the name Lauren, so when she was born, I looked into her baby blue eyes and just knew the name was perfect for her.
Describe her and her personality.
It was just contagious. She was very happy.
But Sarah Kemar, Lauren's mother, says there was something that tortured her smiling daughter every day. Lauren was the highly coveted centerpiece in a nasty tug-of-war between her mother and father.
Who's her father?
Cameron Brown.
Cameron Brown.
At this point, put her up for adoption, gang. Like, take her away from both parents, gang. Cause nah.
A rugged outdoorsman who liked to ski, surf, and run marathons. He was often seen tooling around ritzy Newport Beach, California in a souped-up army truck similar to this one.
So how'd you meet Cameron?
We met in Newport Beach at a jazz bar.
And you started a relationship from there?
Yes.
Brown was an airport baggage handler. His job, hurling 50-pound pieces of luggage on and off airplanes. And before long, he'd also swept the British Rose off her feet, whisking Sarah away on vacations. But just a few months later, their whirlwind romance comes to a crashing stop. When Sarah finds out she's pregnant.
Did he have any interest in the baby?
He chose not to be part of the pregnancy.
Did he want you to keep the baby?
He'd expressed that he did not.
Brown finally appears to embrace his impending fatherhood, but then something inside him snaps.
And then what happened?
He started pressuring her to have an abortion. When she refused to do that, he threatened to have her deported.
Deputy District Attorney...
No, he said, if you don't get this abortion, bitch, you gotta go. You gotta go. But nah, though, like, before you even, like, have sex, you know what I'm saying? Be like, you got plan B's. Or before you bust in, though, you got plan B's, you got this, you got that. You know what I'm saying? Cause that's what I do. I'm like, but you got plan B, bitch. You got birth control yet? Okay, if she don't, I don't bust, bitch. Oh, bro. Cause I ain't, nah, hell nah. Nah. No, sirree. Nah, but I don't want no kids. I don't want no kids anyway. You hear me? So.
Hum says Brown even tries to have Sarah fired from her job when she refuses to end the pregnancy.
When that didn't work, he just cut off all contact with her and had absolutely no contact with her at all.
By the time little Lauren is born, Brown is completely out of the picture.
For the first few years of her life, he wasn't part of her life, but that was his choice.
Did he ever ask to meet her?
No, he did not.
It's not like he lived that far away from his daughter that he couldn't have seen her if he wanted to.
Sarah wanted there to be some kind of a relationship, so there was nothing preventing him from having a relationship with Lauren.
Sarah's raising Lauren on her own, but eventually the financial toll overwhelms the single mom.
Sarah was just having difficulty.
That's what we're talking about, though. If you can't have no kid and you know you can take care of the rest of your life by yourself, don't have no kid, gang. Put her for adoption. Don't just be pressuring people to pay child support and shit like, nah, gang. Because he don't even know if he wanted that baby either. So it's like, y'all just raising a child y'all don't want. Or just nah. He's raising a child he don't want. And you're struggling with the bills and finances of taking care of the child. You don't have no kids. Don't have no kids.
Making ends meet, and so what she did was she filed a petition for child support, and he was ordered to pay child support.
One of Brown's co-workers at the airport says the absentee dad constantly complained about the hefty payments.
He was paying $1,000 a month in child support, which was about 40 to 50% of his income.
And that's when Brown reportedly...
Yeah.
Put that bitch under the jail.
Huh?
They need to put that mother under the jail.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. I'm like, bro, nah.
Fucking crackers.
about 40 to 50% of his
How much he was making? What he worked at fast food, bitch? Like, what's going on, bitch? I got down. Boy, oh hell no.
income.
And that's when Brown reportedly comes up with a devious plan.
He told one of his friends, I heard that in order to get your child support reduced, you have to request visitation, and so that's what I'm going to do. His initial request was for 33% custody and joint legal custody, and he'd never even met Lauren.
Wow.
Sarah says she was nervous, but Lauren, now 3 years old, couldn't wait to finally spend time with her dad.
I think initially Lauren was excited to meet her father.
The first few visits went okay. They were supervised by Sarah, but pretty quickly friction started to develop and there were issues.
Sarah tells me the happy-go-lucky little girl suddenly becomes troubled and withdrawn.
I would detect anxiety and tantrums that increased as the visits went along. She became very fearful and scared of things that she hadn't been before.
Did Lauren ever verbalize to you, no, I don't want to see Daddy, I don't like Daddy?
She had said that she did not want to go. She would hide under the bed.
That was your sign right there to get this nigga away from my child. Cause first of all, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
But the court order said that she had to go, and it broke my heart to have to let her go.
First of all, it shouldn't be the child's decision. If the child says she don't want to go over there because she's scared of some shit, the court need to listen.
A few weeks before Thanksgiving, Brown arranges an afternoon visit with Lauren. Sarah says she's still haunted by what happened early that morning.
I had dropped her off at her preschool, and as I hugged her goodbye, I told her that her father was collecting her. She immediately started to cry and hold on to me. It was hard to separate.
I would record it every time she did that shit. To the court, she's not going around no more. Child support still gonna be coming, but she ain't going over there. This my proof. Y'all don't like it, I kiss my ass. I'm suing all y'all. I'm suing the court, bitch. I'm suing, bitch. This is emotional abuse towards my child, bitch. This is, bitch. I don't know what she's doing. He's doing her over there. Fuck no. That on Brody, y'all got me fucked up. Like what? Bitch, I'm going. Bitch, I'm in court fighting. Bitch, I'm gonna get that nigga locked up or something. Bitch, you gonna be doing something, bitch, because you ain't know you got my child like this. What? Oh hell no.
Parade. The teacher had to come out and pry her from me. I assured her everything would be fine. She was going to have a great afternoon. The last words I said to her was, I love you. And the last words she said back to me also were the same.
Throughout the morning,
Damn,
Sarah can't stop thinking about Lauren.
She called the school a couple of times to see how Lauren was doing. And the teachers told her that she was still upset, but she was doing okay.
In fact, the teacher tells her Lauren was too upset to eat her favorite lunch, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Sarah was so distraught about the impact that this visit was having on Lauren that she made the decision that even with the court order ordering visitation, she was just not going to let it happen that day.
So Sarah heads out to pick up Lauren at school, but it's too late. Brown's already there.
The teachers reported that she didn't want to go with her father. She was crying, and he had to physically pick her up and carry her out of the preschool.
Brown drives Lauren to Palos Verdes, the seaside town just south of Los Angeles where he lived. He's planned a hiking trip with the 4-year-old up to a remote cliff in a secluded area called Inspiration Point.
Is this the kind of place that you would take a child?
No parent, nobody would take a 4-year-old child out there.
They make the nearly 1-mile trek to the cliff and end up sitting on this rocky ledge on the ocean. While Lauren tosses rocks into the raging Pacific Ocean below, Brown says he looks away for a split second, and when he turns back, his little girl is gone.
He just saw her feet as she went over the cliff head first.
Something terrible has happened to precious little Lauren Key.
Lauren had slipped and fallen.
Deputy DA Craig Hum says during a court-ordered visitation, Lauren's father, Cameron Brown, takes the 4-year-old hiking nearly a mile up to Inspiration Point, high above the Pacific Ocean in Southern California.
The cliff wasn't just a straight drop into the ocean. There was a slope and there were projections of rock out from the top of the cliff.
Brown says Lauren ran the entire way to this rocky ledge. The father says he glanced away for a split second, and when he looked back, all he saw were Lauren's little feet going over the edge, a terrifying 120 feet drop straight down to the ocean.
Oh, hell no.
He said he didn't see her when he looked over the edge of the cliff.
What did the father do? Did he call for help?
He ran down to a beach that was on the other side of the cliff, and he borrowed a cell phone to call 911.
My daughter fell off a cliff in Hall 30.
Okay, sir. Are you near her? Can you see her from where you
No,
are?
I don't know. I haven't gone down and found her. I just found somebody with a phone. I called you first. Now I'm going to look.
Wait a minute. The father hasn't even checked on his little girl?
Rather than going to her body or to try and rescue her, he spent about 4.5 minutes talking to the 911 operator.
You'd think there would be panic or at least heartbreak in his voice. Not this dad.
Does he know where he is?
The sunbathing beach.
Sunbathing beach?
Yeah, I know where the nude bathers go. You guys don't want to get dressed. Sorry.
As one witness described it, it was like he was ordering a pizza. There was no emotion, and all the while, his daughter is floating face down in the ocean, and he's chatting on a cell phone and joking with the people at the beach.
Brown eventually makes his way down the shoreline in search of little Lauren. It's been nearly 15 minutes since she slipped and fell. He spots her lifeless body floating face down in the water.
Her little beautiful body was broken and battered, and it wasn't anything that any parent should ever have to see, or any parent would ever, in their worst nightmare, ever see.
So the initial investigation or the initial call came in as an accident.
Yes.
Los Angeles County homicide detectives Danny Smith and Jeffrey Leslie don't usually respond to accidents. But something about Brown's 911 call and the location of Lauren's fall was troubling.
There's no way that a kid should be out on that cliff. I've been out on that cliff.
On a hunch, the detectives head to Inspiration Point to speak to Cameron Brown.
I went to introduce myself to Mr. Brown, and I remember coming back to Danny and saying, I don't like this. I don't like it. He was so disconnected. It just didn't feel right.
I looked over at him, I said, "That's the dad." And someone said, "Yeah, that's him." And I was struck by the absolute poker face, lack of emotion, and very nonchalant.
Was he upset? Was he distraught? His child is dead.
No. He was more concerned about his surfboard on top of his car.
An hour away from Inspiration Point, Sarah Kemar and her new husband are worried their little Lauren is late coming home.
We decided to drive up to where her father lived, and we were on the phone to the police trying to find out if there was any accidents, and we were directed to go to the nearest police station.
When the police told you to go to the police station, is that all you knew as you were driving over there?
That's all we knew. So when we got there, we were met by a detective. It was all quite a blur to me. They mentioned the word cliff, and there had been a death, and it involved Lauren, but I couldn't piece everything together. I remember becoming hysterical. I was just cascaded into this emotional pain. I just remember wailing, heaving, no words were coming out.
And as the police describe it, your reaction and the father's reaction could not have been more different on that
Oh
day.
my God.
I feel my reaction was what any parent, how they would react if they just heard the worst news of their life.
But Cameron Brown's behavior is getting more bizarre by the minute.
He showed no interest in what had happened. Instead, he wanted to know who had won the presidential election.
Maybe Brown was just in shock, but there was something the detectives, who were both fathers to kids Lauren's age, couldn't explain.
Well, if she couldn't afford to take out a child, and you couldn't afford to pay child support, which basically you can't afford to take out a child either. Nigga, adoption, gang. Your child's too much for y'all. Adoption.
In a way, why a father would take his 4-year-old to such a dangerous place.
When you saw the cliff, what did you think?
Interestingly, Jeff and I are both afraid of heights. He would only go so far, and I'd only go a little bit further, and we were still at least 30 feet from where Cameron said that he took his daughter and sat on the edge of this cliff.
So you as a dad, you look at this and you're saying, there's no way my 4-year-old's gonna walk this willingly.
No. We finally, we called our SEB, Special Enforcement Bureau, and said, you know, we need some people up here with rigged up in rappelling gear.
So wait a minute, you needed a team with rappelling gear to get to where he says they were sitting?
Yes.
Because you couldn't walk out there.
We wouldn't walk out there.
You know, perspective is everything. Here's how it all happened. Cameron parked on the other side of that point. Then he walked up to the point, went around this entire horseshoe, and came up to this cliff with a 4-year-old who he said was leading the way. By this point, what are you suspecting?
I honestly didn't know. I'm just thinking it doesn't make sense.
Did you believe Cameron's version of what happened on that cliff?
It was very difficult to comprehend what he was saying is what happened. It was just such a bizarre death.
When the detectives finally get a glimpse at little Lauren's body, it's like a punch in the stomach.
She didn't have the injuries to support a slip and a fall.
She would have had scrape marks on her hands, on her arms, on her face, and she showed none of those injuries.
So what happened to little Lauren on that cliff?
She had to be propelled.
Cameron Brown says his sweet little daughter Lauren slipped from this cliff and accidentally fell to her death. But Los Angeles County Sheriff's Detective Jeff Leslie...
There would have been blood marks on rocks, DNA all over the place, scrape marks on her body, skin would have been missing, way more broken bones, neck, legs. Like, bro, it would have been a bad scene. And if it looks like she just went straight like, boom, then yeah, gang, you done fucked up. Because you done threw her, gang. Like, bro, oh my God. Yo, that shit got tossed off that motherfucking next, bro.
Just can't let it go.
There are certain things that he says it just couldn't have happened that way.
And his partner, Detective Danny Smith, was equally suspicious.
Cameron was just a very odd guy.
But odd doesn't make you a killer.
It does not make you a killer, but we just really didn't have a warm and fuzzy feeling about the guy either.
Neither did the DA, who believed Cameron Brown murdered his innocent 4-year-old daughter in the cruelest way imaginable.
Nah, but if you're emotionally about everything, like literally, like you're not showing no emotion towards your daughter dying, and you calling the police, and you're just like, hey, yeah, like, bro, you happy about the situation? Like, hey, but you killed her, gang. Nah, I don't care what nobody say, gang. Ain't no way, gang. You done murdered your daughter, gang. That's like.
Do you think he just pushed her? Do you think he dropped her?
Based on the nature of her injuries and based on the force with which she would have had to have been thrown.
Had it even sunk in what had happened?
That she died at the hands of her own father was incomprehensible.
No one, especially Lauren's mom, Sarah, wanted to believe a dad would or could throw his own child to her death. But the evidence seemed to be overwhelming.
What was the forensic evidence?
They examined the edge of the cliff, they examined the dirt, the brush, the weeds, and there was just no scuff marks, there was no evidence of slipping or sliding or any disturbance along the edge.
The county coroner agreed, releasing a disturbing 32-page report ruling Lauren's death a homicide. What were the injuries on her body that indicated to you that this was not an accident?
If Lauren had accidentally fallen and slipped, she would show significant sliding injuries, significant abrasions, because the cliff wasn't just a straight drop into the ocean. She showed none of those injuries, just one sudden impact, which was consistent with her being thrown clear of the edge of the cliff and landing on a single projection about 100 feet down before bouncing off the cliff and then going into the water.
Shit.
But detectives Jeff Leslie and Danny Smith want to prove their theory beyond a reasonable doubt. So they bring in a team of experts in biomechanics to reenact the incident. They fill a box with 40 pounds of weights, about what 40-year-old Lauren weighed at the time of her death, and go back to Inspiration Point. They hurl the box about 10 feet. The distance they estimate Cameron Brown could toss his 40-pound daughter. Remember, he was an airport baggage handler who tossed 50-pound suitcases for a living.
Oh, bro, so you gotta think,
The result?
that boy really threw that girl like it was no weight to him. He said, boom. So
Are chilling. How do you suggest he threw her?
The defendant actually placed one hand near the top of Lauren's back and literally threw her off of the cliff so that she cleared the edge of the cliff, rotated from a head up to head down position, and struck the rock face first with her back away from the cliff and her face into the cliff.
oh my god.
The big
bruh.
question still needing an answer. Motive. Why would a dad kill his own flesh and blood?
The defendant and Lauren's mother
Better not be over no child support, my nigga. It better not be over no child support, none of that, bitch. Cause nigga, look, bro. Oh, bro, you could have did anything else, my nigga. Anything else, my nigga. You could have fought the child, shit. Nigga, it's y'all fault. Y'all broke anyway. What the fuck y'all doing with y'all money anyway, gang? Like, y'all should have had, like, y'all how old? You don't got enough money to take care of a child. Y'all should never had a child if y'all couldn't take care of her. Adoption, motherfucker. Something. Plant B's. Abortion. Something. Jeez.
Sarah Kemar didn't get along at all.
I'm finna cut this short,
Their,
gang.
Child custody battle was very contentious.
And cops say that's one of the saddest parts of this story. Brown killed his own daughter just so he wouldn't have to pay a few $100 a week in child support.
Can you imagine that would be the reason?
He can't be alive in jail. He can't be. He can't be alive in jail. He can't be. They got his ass. They had to get that. Ain't no way he's still alive in jail. They know he did that. Nigga, you don't. No. I'm gonna drown your ass inside. No, I'm gonna bash your head. Just keep bash your head on the fucking floor when you go in that shower, you butt ass nigga. I'm gonna walk in that bitch on your ass, stab you underneath your leg and shit, make you, oh shit, I can't walk the air, nigga. Come here, keep bash your fucking head across the fucking floor while you see the blood dripped into the motherfucking drain, nigga. Just bashing. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna keep bashing, dude. When you dead, nigga, your whole skull gonna be gone, nigga. Your whole face gonna be disfigured, nigga. You gonna be able to see inside your shit, nigga. Cause nah, nigga, I'm just boom, 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 boom. Hey, look, that might be.
No.
As detectives are putting the final pieces of the puzzle together, they keep a close eye on Cameron Brown.
I think Jeff and I both were like, this is kind of that mentality of a guy, like a Unabomber.
Like Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, Brown had lived off the grid in a remote cabin in Colorado. Detectives knew if Brown ran, they may never find him. So they put a surveillance team on him, and lo and behold, their detective intuition was right.
It was either the day before Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving Day, and our surveillance team called me and said, I think this guy's he's gonna get on, and
He's gonna take off.
take off. And I said, arrest him. That was that. He went to jail.
Based on the box test and the autopsy on little Lauren, Brown is charged with first-degree murder and lying in wait. Everybody thought the case would be a slam dunk.
There's not anyone, in my opinion, who is reasonable that would take his story and say, yeah, I could see that.
Shit like this deserves a death penalty. Fuck no. Death penalty, my nigga. Death penalty, my nigga. Death penalty, my nigga. Death penalty, my nigga.
Happening.
But jurors are skeptical.
Jurors just don't want to believe that that a man would murder his daughter, period, and certainly not by throwing her off of a cliff into the ocean.
Cameron Brown may be the most hated father in the country. Accused of throwing his 4-year-old little girl, Lauren, off the side of a cliff, just so he wouldn't have to pay a few $100 a week in child support.
You know, the innocence of a victim makes the crime that much more hideous.
And possibly the most sickening part, after Brown murdered his daughter, detectives say he went back and ate his daughter's leftover peanut butter and jelly sandwich out of her lunchbox.
To me, it puts you in the category of sociopath.
Brown maintains the only thing he is guilty of is not being able to save Lauren when she accidentally fell.
The defendant's story is a lie.
But who would the jury side with? The verdict comes in, and the prosecution is floored. The jury is deadlocked. What happened in the first trial that caused a hung jury?
There were a couple of reasons. The jurors had trouble convicting the defendant of murder when there were no eyewitnesses to say, I saw him throw her over the cliff. But I think the bigger problem with the case was just the unwillingness of some jurors to believe that a man would do this to his daughter, and in such a horrible way.
I just couldn't make sense of it. It was a huge
I have to
disappointment.
cut this short, bruh.
What do you say to Sarah?
I think I just said we weren't done. We're not done. And we'll keep fighting until we are done.
Los Angeles County Sheriff's Detective Jeff Leslie wasn't about to give up. He and his partner, Detective Danny Smith, were determined to get justice for little Lauren.
We kept working on Lauren's case and we never gave up on it.
And prosecutors say the dogged detective's tireless work on the case lands a new lead.
Even after the first trial, he located additional witnesses who proved to be significant witnesses as well.
Nearly 3 years later, the district attorney decides to try Brown's case again. It's a completely different jury, but the outcome shockingly the same.
It's like, where is this jury pool? I mean, what are they thinking? And it just, I couldn't believe it.
I really wanted to have that closure in my life, but it obviously wasn't the time that was going to happen, so I just had to wait.
Did you think that there would be a third trial?
I don't think any of us were sure of that.
Detective Danny Smith decides to hang up his badge and retires. But desperate to find justice for little Lauren, Detective Leslie goes back to the DA and asks, what will it take to get a guilty verdict?
They said, you need more.
We need more.
Wow.
So we just kept banging away at it.
He knew that if there was anything else out there, if there was any other information he could get, that he was going to go out there and dig again.
And there, in one of the dozens of binders Detective Leslie had filled with notes, he spots a name. It's a baggage handler who worked with Brown, and he was never interviewed.
He was able to locate a witness who recalled back shortly before Lauren was murdered how the defendant would complain about the child support payments.
I think the comment was something to the effect of, wouldn't it be nice if we could just kill him and get rid of him?
With that witness, they headed back to trial for a third time. But would that one witness be enough to tip the jury?
As you're there for the third trial and the jury goes out, what's going through your head?
Obviously, I hoped for justice and wanted us to win.
You must have been really nervous.
Everyone was on edge.
This time, it takes the jury just over 36 hours to reach a verdict.
And what's the verdict?
With the jury in the above entitled action finding defendant Cameron Brown guilty of the crime of murder in the first degree.
Guilty on all counts.
Even jury members rejoiced.
For all the pain she has been going through, I'm sorry for your death of your baby, but justice has finally been served.
Could you believe it?
No.
After 3 tries, you finally got guilty.
We finally got it guilty.
I think that I heard Sarah sobbing in the audience. I looked at the detective who was sitting next to me, and there was just an overwhelming sense of relief that justice had finally been done.
The prosecutor says that when it came to sentencing is when you...
Man. Fuck justice. That nigga need to die. Bitch, I would... Ooh, boy, don't... Hey, man, look. Don't tell me what I would've did to that nigga, gang. I ain't gonna hold you. Fuck going to jail, bitch. I'm finna take you to the woods, bash your fucking skull in, chop you into pieces, put you in a fucking body bag, and bury you so deep under the ground, and nobody gonna find your pussy ass, nigga.